I've been seeing this guy around so much. I have no idea who this motherfucker is, but his face annoys me for some reason.
YouTuber with several million subscribers, has a dark past with deep ties to far-right extremism. Wendon is very publicly friends with Turkey Tom. He is friends with Mutahar. He is publicly friends with Shoe on Head, who is a conservative masquerading as a leftist.
What?
A few days ago, I saw this video pop up in my YouTube feed. Bad conservative horror movies. And I was immediately intrigued. I love long video essays about stupid shit like this. But what I got instead was the worst attempt at a hit piece I have ever seen on YouTube ever. So sit down and get comfy, because it's time for an old-fashioned video response. Now before we get into this video, I just want to thank today's sponsor, you. This video is sponsored by all of you who donate to me on patreon.com. Thank you all very much. I made you some cookies. Anyway, I've been pretty busy lately doing personal life things, but when this went down, I was like, I can't not respond to this. But by the time I was done with the script, the man had already deleted the video after it was downvoted to
I seen this at Turkey Tom too. That video got deleted so damn fast. So damn fast.
But even though the video is gone, I still want to respond to it for 3 reasons. 1, I am directly involved in this. 2, I'm tired of these type of people running their mouths. And 3, this topic is pretty timeless. And that topic is what I like to call the war on normal guys. Last year I wrote a script for a video with this title, and it was about the YouTuber Wendon being cancelled on Twitter. For those of you who don't know, Wendon is a popular YouTuber who makes video about true crime, horror, and cryptids. And no, despite popular belief, Wendon has nothing to do with gooning. Wendon is what most YouTubers who don't make political videos should be. His channel is completely apolitical. I don't like clicking a video about iCarly and then having to listen to you about how much you hate Trump, or clicking a video about Fallout and hearing you go off about how Joe Biden sucks.
I hate those so much too. Oh my lord. Like man, if you want to talk about something, like, that I hate that so much. Like when I talked about like Warhammer. And when I was saying that female custodians should be possible to make, that is all I said. Everyone in the comment was like, but females cannot be done. It doesn't matter. There is nothing that says in the lore that it can be done. That's it. That's what I was saying. That's it. You don't have to think about it more. Yes, there were no custodies before. Yes, there's no named custodies before. Yes, we didn't see one before. But there is nothing that says it cannot be done. That's it. It's that simple. I was saying that much. And everything got so damn everyone like, a Volk attack. Like, bro, okay, I get it. Force diversity sucks, but goddamn, calm the f down. Jesus.
Care. If I wanted to hear milquetoast political opinions, I would watch my own videos. But no, despite being non-political, Wendon is a great channel. He has a good community, he's very positive, he's a Sunday school teacher, he has a beautiful wife, he's friendly, funny, and kind. Which of course makes him an enemy to the most annoying people on earth. Month after month after month, I would see threads on Twitter and on Reddit about what a terrible person Wendon was. But when I would go searching for reasons why, there was really nothing besides vibes.
That's what every one of these Twitter motherfuckers do. They have no evidence, no proof, no nothing. They just talk out of their ass and do nothing. They do no research, they do literally nothing, read headlines at best. They're pulling a Hassan or some shit, and they just talk out of their ass. They don't do shit.
I simply do not like Wendon. He has bad vibes coming off him like stinky lines. The vibes on this guy have never been right. I live in the Bible Belt. He has the vibes of the kids who would have been comfortable saying racist and homophobic slurs and bullied me in grade school. What? He always gave me weird vibes. Deeply uncomfortable vibes from this guy.
Honestly speaking, these look like goddamn bot stuff from Twitter. Although this is, I think, a Reddit, but all of them looking like goddamn bot stuff that you've been seeing, like below, like political stuff in Twitter and shit. It is exactly what bots are saying.
I initially unfollowed him because I started getting weird vibes from him. There are evil energies surrounding this man.
What was that?
There are evil energies surrounding.
Okay.
Wait, what'd he do? He used to be a youth pastor. Some people got weird vibes, and that's fair. It's rare to see a youth pastor with good vibes. What did Wendon do? Honestly, a lot of it is just the vibes. I needed more. I needed to hear some real reasons why people disliked this guy. I needed real arguments. I needed a living soy jack meme with a pedo mustache and bisexual lighting to string up and beat like a piñata. Enter In Praise of Shadows, aka Zane. A leftist video essayist straight out of the aging millennial hipster factory. Seriously, why do they all look like this? What genre?
I mean, everyone has their own style, but what is this? And why is he red?
I'm in no position to talk about style. I still do my makeup like it's 2009. Zane
Yeah, she actually looks like those emo girls I was into back then. Oh my god, I'm sorry. But it's true. It is true. It is funny because it's true. That's hella funny.
Wayne is a horror movie video essayist who, for some reason, decided to randomly go after Wendigoon and several other popular YouTubers.
God, this beat. Oh my god. I know we are not here because of the beat, but oh my, I loved it.
And myself. His video starts off with him complaining that he got a lot of hate for his take about the movie Hills Have Eyes.
The hill people can be representative of anything that you want them to be, really. They can be Native Americans, and the hills themselves can be allegorical of them being forced back onto reservations.
You saw a bunch of cannibal mutants and thought of Native Americans? Anyway, he goes on to talk about how people were misrepresenting him and leaving rude comments.
The cruel and untrue things that you say about another person do in fact have direct impacts on them and the way that people culturally see them. Are these
See, this motherfucker just made a whole video that he deleted about the same bullshit. Holy shit. Oh my god, she's so right.
your own genuine original thoughts and criticisms that you have based on my actual words and things that I have done, or that maybe you haven't thought critically about what you were reading online, about other people?
And about how after this video, apparently a lot of his subscribers stopped watching him, and now he's poor and can't afford rent.
There was a month last year where I only made $500 in ad revenue. I can't live off that.
Which, if you're ever at this point, you need to get a job, or at least a side job. That's capitalism meritocracy. Either make better content, or get a job. Hey, maybe if we get communism, you can be the community YouTuber. Then finally, an hour into the video, he gets to the topic, conservative horror movies. But then suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere, it was like he accidentally uploaded a schizophrenic meltdown.
I did not watch his video. Just to be fair, this is the first stuff I've seen from that video. I seen Turkey Tom like post about it on his Tom Dark channel, I think, but I did not watch that video yet.
If you're not aware, Wendigoon is a horror conspiracy theorist YouTuber with several million subscribers that, as you will hopefully come to see, should not be seen as the wholesome, southern, friendly dad persona that he has publicly constructed around himself in the past several years. And that, like many people who talk about being Christian,
I really hate this zoom in, zoom out stuff.
as much as he does, has a dark past with deep ties to far-right extremism.
Ooh, this sounds pretty bad. He's not the heckum wholesome YouTube dad we all thought. What could he have possibly done?
Of course, he's a Nazi. Everyone we don't like is a Nazi. That's like the new leftist thing to say. I don't know why. Literally, I only say that on Twitter to like 4 left people. If they don't like someone, that's a Nazi. But you know what the funny thing is? Even far right people do that. It's so both of the extremes are like, you're Nazi, you're not. So funny. So dumb.
There are many things that are red flags that we could talk about, from the bizarre
Is it a fall? That guy is a man of culture. That looks like a fall.
ownership.
Yikes! An American man owns guns? Not very heckin' wholesome, Wendigoon.
Guns are fun, bro. I mean, not everyone who has guns or like guns are going to kill people with them. My dad was a goddamn weapon engineer. Of course I like guns. I've grown up around guns. I've grown up around military stuff. I like this shit. I play War Thunder. I like airsoft. I like all this stuff. If we could own a gun legally in Hungary, I would own a gun. Certainly. Like, I don't have thoughts of shooting people or killing people with it. It's just cool. It's fun to use. It's fun to shoot. It's interesting. Like, what? It's so stupid. Like,
He goes on to talk about how Wendigoon is rich, and therefore he doesn't respect Wendigoon's opinion on media.
He became exceptionally wealthy by the time that he was 19 or 20. I have no need or desire to hear 5 hours of opinions on Blood Meridian from a 21-year-old millionaire.
Like, what exactly is the correct amount of money to have where your opinions still matter? Like, if you
I mean, you have to be broke and make $500 a month like him, so you can have correct opinions. By the way, by his logic, everyone in my country can have correct opinions because we make 500 a month in general. So it's like, what the fuck are you on about, buddy? What the hell? Like, everybody in Eastern Europe is like, this is the correct opinion, so bro. It's like, this motherfucker, because he's a millionaire, he cannot have correct opinions. Well, if that $500 or euros is your limit, bro, I have some news to tell you. Everyone here in Eastern Europe makes that much money, like, average in a month, so that's like your minimum wage. So it's like, I guess this is the base part of the world. I mean, but we can go even lower too.
Suddenly got a bunch of video views and a bunch of patrons like you want. Would we be justified in dismissing your opinions on movies? This honestly just feels like a conservative's idea of what a leftist is. Like, it's not just about hating people for having money. Like, what is Wendigoon's position of power in relation to the means of production? Does he own a business? Does he have employees he's mistreating? Not that I know of, he's just a guy who makes YouTube videos, like you. Only difference is he's good at it and makes money, and you're not, and you don't. Okay, for real though, there's gotta be more, right? What crimes has Wendigoon committed? Well, to start, he committed the crime of having friends.
Wendigoon is very publicly friends with Turkey Tom. They have been seen together on multiple occasions, and I've seen online mentions that Tom was either at his wedding.
Honestly speaking, from what I've seen from Tom so far, like Turkey Tom, down to earth guy, who just tries to think logically in a way and tries to come to conclusions. Like, by that, I feel that's what I got for so far from what I've seen from him.
They have been seen together. I have seen online mentions that he was at his wedding. He's saying this shit like Turkey Tom is wanted for murder, and not like he just said some slurs on Discord when he was a teenager. Does this guy vet like every—
I mean, if you wanna like call out people who says slurs when they are a teenager, bro, I have some news for you. Like, every Discord server I join, and there are like under 18 people, they third word is always the N word. Like, it's just, it is so common that I'm not even surprised by it, literally, and I don't even know where to put it. They just saying it. I mean, they don't care. They literally don't care.
Every single person he's ever been friends with or spoken to, hey, before you enter my house, I'm gonna have to go through your Discord history from 7 years ago. I was gonna say no, but I can see this guy doing that.
Wendigoon is publicly friends.
It actually looks like that. He just go through your Discord history, to be freaking honest. And you know what's the funny thing is? It's not even just teens that say those things. Almost every Discord community, like everywhere, even in real life, if you go everywhere, there are so many inside jokes, so many racist jokes, so many, every type of jokes, literally. Like, they joke about everything and anything. It did not go away. I mean, maybe you look at Twitter, maybe you look at like media overall, and you see that it's like getting, it's panders to everyone, etc. But it did not go away at all. Like, these jokes, the Dave Chappelle type of humor per se, it's still there everywhere, literally.
Friends with Donut Operator, and even retweeted a photograph of the two of them hugging. Donut Operator is a gun-crazed, very far-right YouTuber with 4 million subscribers. His content is very pro-state, pro-cop, pro-gun, and pro-death to people who don't share his beliefs propaganda. For example, one of his videos is titled, "Predator Takes Shotgun to the Face."
I love the example he used is a literal pedophile being killed. He's very pro-death for people who—
I'm going to be honest, go ahead and say it. If it's a pedophile, bruh, especially if that pedophiles already did something for some little kid, I don't care. I have 3 little sisters. Anything happens to any of them, your head is on the ground. That's for sure. Nah. There are people that's just like, no, does not deserve my pity. Sorry. That's a really bad example. A really bad example.
who don't share his beliefs. Take, for example, this pedophile. Is that what you mean by people who don't share his beliefs? Out of all the videos, why that one? You're not gonna find many people who are gonna be like, oh no, the poor child molester. Well, maybe you will, but most people won't. Also, he's trying to act like Donut Operator is just a complete simp for the police, and he's really not. Even in the screenshot you show in the background, there's like 3 whole videos in frame where he's clearly being critical of the police.
For someone who supposedly is so very anti-government, Wendigoon seems very comfortable with a man who makes his living worshipping violence committed by the state. And the only thing that one could reasonably gather from this picture of them hugging is that he too is a fascist bootlicker himself.
Actually, we can't reasonably gather anything, because you haven't given us anything to gather.
He didn't even cite any sources. He just showed some YouTube videos that contradict each other. He chose the only one that like nobody's going to care about. If a pedophile is getting like shot, who the f cares? Everyone wants that anyways. So it's like, bro, what?
Label this guy very far right, and he might be very far right, but you haven't shown anything very far right. Like, take a step back and evaluate the bare basics of what you just showed us. Wendigoon hugging someone who thinks it's okay when a pedophile dies. Okay, but let's be fair. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's something worse. Let's see.
He is friends with Brandon Buckingham, a gun YouTuber who has been accused of threatening rape.
I feel like that guy is just... he just doesn't like guns or something.
Okay, so first of all, let's rewind. This guy is not a gun tuber. This just proved this man did absolutely no research. I'm talking like 2 seconds going to this guy's channel amount of research. And for those who are unaware, that rape thing is a complete lie. It is a complete lie made up by, sit down, Sneeko. Sneeko made that up, and Sneeko had to apologize and admit it was a lie because it was literal slander.
How are these people collecting goddamn evidence? And how, like, you make an hour-long video, I don't know how long that video was, and you do no research, man? And here I am making a video about whatever I'm making. Like, when I went into the Warhammer stuff, I literally went through a bunch of books, a bunch of everything. I read so much, just to make sure I remember correctly. And it's not that I didn't know about these things. I made sure that I remembered correctly. And I spent hours on hours to research that the knowledge I already had was correct. Not even searching for new stuff. I'm just making sure what I'm saying is okay to say. Because it has like proof behind it. What? And I do this with everything else. Like, when I talked about this whole Black Samurai stuff, I literally went through and read through, like, as a historian for goddamn Reddit. I read so much. I spent hours to research this whole thing before I opened my mouth. Like, isn't that normal to do? Or you just put out reactionary content without even, like, doing any research? That is so goddamn bad. Like, why are you doing that?
I just love how in his little breadtube tryout video, he uses Sneeko as a fucking source. I mean, it's not like his other sources are any better. His other sources being Reddit. He got like 90% of this information from a thread about Wendigoon in a drama subreddit called R YouTube Drama. This man like borderline plagiarized Reddit comments. Source, pee-pee-poo-poo-123 and Sneeko. Nice job on the research, you fucking hack. Also, I love the screenshot he's using. This you, bro. This you showing sympathy to someone whose grandfather is dying.
He has collaborated with Nick Crowley, who constantly makes money through the most morbid and shameful true crime content, of showcasing the last minutes of people before they are suddenly and unexpectedly killed.
So I don't know much about this guy, but it seems like your issue with him is that he makes true crime content. I mean, personally, I'm not a huge fan of true crime content, but it's extremely popular on YouTube.
Crowley is...
Oh, there are many people who watches content about like crime and like psychopaths and like serial killers. It is really interesting for so many people, like how these people, like even for me, it's really interesting to see that what goes through their mind to get where they are. Like, how is that like a mindset of that's like telling you that it's okay to kill someone or some shit without any reason, like no self-defense, nothing. You're just killing them because you enjoy it, or you have like some sort of an agenda maybe. It is so interesting to like get a peek at that, and it's really scary that what people can think sometimes when they're committing crimes like that. It's insane. It's insanity.
Similar to Wendigoon, and that on the surface they seem fairly edgy, but clean enough. But then you notice that he follows less than 200 people on Twitter, and among them are the same circle with names like Wendigoon, Plagued Moth, Turkey Tom, Mr. Ballin, and Donut Operator.
On the surface, they look clean enough to pass the vibe check, but then you look closer and notice he follows people who don't pass the vibe check.
These people hate the police, and yet they're always like, Sir, I'm gonna have to take a look at that Twitter follow list.
They don't like the police because they wanna do the policing. And they wanna do the policing by their own rules. That's why they don't like the police.
Just absolute cop behavior. ACAB includes the follow police.
Wendigoon is publicly friends with Brandon Herrera, who has made jokes that implied that he was sympathetic with public shooters who killed leftists. I've also seen people insinuate that Herrera was with Wendigoon in the days of being part of the Boogaloo movement, but I cannot find substantial proof on if this is true or not. But I've seen several comments saying this, so online it is at least culturally believed to be true.
Hey guys, I heard Praise of Shadows a dog. No, I don't have any proof, but it's culturally believed to be true.
He is friends with Oompaville, a gun-obsessed content creator.
Oompaville! What the hell did Oompaville do? He's not even political whatsoever. I guess that's the problem, isn't it? But no, you're a bad person if you shot a gun even once. This is America. That's like saying you're a bad person if you ate a cheeseburger. His other example of Oompaville being bad is making videos about Nikocado avocado, as if anyone and their mother has not made a Nikocado avocado video. This is ridiculous. There has to be more.
He is friends with Mutahar.
Mutahar? Mutahar? Really? If someone can't be friends with Mutahar, they can't be friends with anyone. That dude is like so not problematic.
And has recently showcased a great deal of transphobia in his most
That was not transphobic video, we went over this. This guy didn't do any research.
recent video.
Okay, nothing in Mutahar's video was transphobic at all. I don't even know why I have to entertain this. Simply talking about a trans person isn't transphobia, and I wish that we could like move past this and just treat trans people like—
That motherfucker Mutar was talking about was selling like hormone stuff, like not even like medically okay stuff to children. Like she was literally like a hormone drug dealer or whatever. Like it was disgusting what that bitch did. Like what? It's not transphobia. If it was whatever gender, it's the same shit. Like it doesn't change anything. Oh.
human beings and not like these like delicate little angels that we need to like step on eggshells around. It's really f***ing weird.
Who argued against Andrew Tate being deplatformed from social media websites.
He believes in the concept of free speech for everyone. Wow. Just like the Nazis. This is what you're using to paint Mutahar as a bad person in order to paint Wendigoon as a bad person. You're running out of paint, bro.
Wendigoon is publicly connected to the Internet Historian, and has even appeared in his videos. The Internet Historian publicly said that his birthday was April 20th. It is not, and has only said that as a joke because that is Hitler's birthday.
Ah yes, April 20th, Hitler's birthday.
Okay.
There are no other jokes surrounding the number 420. It's a weed joke. It's like making a joke about the number 69. This is either extremely dishonest manipulation, saying April 20th instead of the number 420 so people wouldn't notice, or you are profoundly mentally retarded, sir. Who the sees a joke about 420 and automatically thinks Hitler? I'll tell you who. Somebody with preconceived notions about others. Everyone is already a bigot, so everything they say is bigoted, instead of the other way around. Looking at bigotry and coming to the conclusion that that person's a bigot. No, you have this insane hater tunnel vision, which is why you're coming to insane conclusions like this.
He has interacted positively with Garant Thumb, who has said, "The traditional family should be encouraged and strengthened. I see little to no support from the government or big media."
Traditional families? Not traditional families! This is how you know this video was made for one type of person and that type of person only.
Literally, like, nothing wrong with saying that either. Like, you can live your life how you want to live your life. It's just, there's nothing wrong with that if you want support for that. Like, it's the same. There is nothing wrong if you say that you want to support gay marriages and like that type of families. Like, it's literally the same thing, supporting both.
He sure does seem to have a lot of wealthy white friends who actively work to uphold the values of the American empire.
For someone who hates the government so much, they sure have a lot of wealthy white friends who hold up the American empire. What the f*** are you saying? It's like lefty Mad Libs. He's just chucking a bunch of buzzwords at the wall and seeing what sticks. Capitalism, cops, white, American Empire. Now, see, I always thought fascism was hyper-nationalistic authoritarianism, but apparently it's actually when you follow people on Twitter that Walmart Noah Samson doesn't like.
He has publicly interacted in a friendly way with the account Rock Solid on multiple occasions.
Responding to someone on Twitter makes you best friends with that person. Hey, by the way, this you being friendly with YouTuber Sophie from Mars, who is allegedly an abuser, is that you, bro? Because according to your own logic, not mine, that makes you and her friends, which makes you a bad person. And personally, I'd rather be friends with people who make jokes on the internet than someone who allegedly puts cigarettes out on their girlfriend's skin. But honestly, I wouldn't hold this against him. How was he supposed to know? You throw a dart into a crowd of these people and you're bound to hit a sex pest.
He is publicly friends with Shoe on Head, who is a conservative masquerading as a leftist, who has built a career off of lazy anti-woke content, complaining about SJWs, who says stuff like, Karl Marx rising from the grave finding out his movement has been taken over by fat, ugly, mentally ill losers.
That's a funny joke.
What's crazy is I could have given you like 20 examples of way worse shit I've said over the years, but instead you choose a random joke I made on Twitter. You just went to my Twitter and found like one of the last...
That is how they do research. Go to Twitter, they read through your stuff, that is their research. Go to drama Reddits, read the headlines, that's the research. Go to like I don't know, like CNN, any other newspapers, read the headline, that is usually just clickbait, and that is their research. That's all they do. It's ridiculous.
Last tweets I made. This you, Wendigoon? This you, bro? Congratulating someone on their wedding day? A conservative masquerading as a leftist is so
God, no way he did that.
funny too, because like, what would be the point of that? Am I waiting for like a Soros check? It would be way more lucrative as a woman on the internet to just be a conservative commentator instead of pissing off all sides like I do. Also, the term publicly friends with is so funny. He keeps saying it, and like personally, it's hilarious to me because I have to be privately friends with several public figures because they are prisoners to their own audience, because their own audiences are full of people like this guy. So I have a lot of respect for people like Wendigoon who will just talk to anyone they want to and aren't scared of these crybullies. And as for the lazy accusation, you got me. Honestly, this all would have bothered me way more like a few years ago, but I'm so over it now. Go ahead and call me what you like. I take solace in the fact that every woke idiot that comes at me eventually gets their own ass cancelled into the shadow realm, and yet I remain problematic and a moron forever. And I personally can't wait until the inevitable day an army of skeletons comes marching out of your closet. What does bother me, however, is linking Wendigoon to me.
I mean, he has that vibe.
In order to smear him. My friends and I aren't a hive mind. And that might be easy for most people to understand, but not for these people. People like this guy, they don't have friends. They have enemies and they have temporary allies. They have people they hate and people they will eventually throw under the bus the second that person has a problematic tweet one day.
He has said many times publicly that he lives in East Tennessee. It is about as white as you could possibly get. Deep Appalachia is very white country, and for the most part, is exceptionally racist.
Why is a white guy talking about being especially white? Like, what are we on about here? Like, where are we going? In the forest?
Genuinely in this part of the country, you have to assume that any white person you meet is racist unless they show you otherwise.
Holy shit! What? All white people from Appalachia are racist until proven otherwise. He's implying Wendigoon is low-key racist because of where he's from. He literally has no proof otherwise. No videos, no screen caps, nothing that shows Wendigoon being racist. But you see, he has to be. So because he's from Tennessee, he secretly must be. Making a broad negative generalization about somebody based on their race, but wokely, so it's okay. Appalachia is one of the poorest areas in the country. And aren't you a poor motherfucker too? I know you don't want to hear it, but the working class revolution is not just going to be full of the purple-haired Starbucks baristas. It's also going to be Billy Bob the truck driver from Tennessee. And you have more in common with those guys than you do the rich bread tubers that you're trying to suck the farts out of currently. So why don't you drop the smug liberal attitude and show some class solidarity, comrade?
Then of course, there is his username. To the Algonquin people, the Wendigo is a negative spiritual symbol. He has attempted to deflect from criticism over the use of the name by saying that his grandfather was Native American. But I personally have to look at it from the hypothetical perspective, where, say I had a blind...
Everything he said was hypothetical so far, because he did not show any, like, solid proof, so it's like... we are watching this guy talk, and it's just, oh my god. I've been watching this for 35 minutes, and I had enough of this guy, like, I don't know how many clips ago.
Black or mixed grandfather in this situation, and black people were telling me that I was doing something that was racist or offensive to them. I would then listen to what they were saying instead of claiming that I had the right to do it because I had some melanin in me. Especially if I were more or less raised within a primarily white cultural area like the Appalachian Mountains are. And also on top of that, just, frequently associated myself with white supremacists.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Where was the white supremacy? You spent like 10 minutes smearing a bunch of people Wendigoon talks to, but not once did you show any white supremacy. Again, just haphazardly throwing around lefty buzzwords. White supremacy!
We could talk about his past and supposedly being a founding member in an online conspiracy theory group that, according to him, snowballed out of control into being a white supremacist neo-Nazi organization called the Boogaloo Boys. In 2020, they killed several police officers in a drive-by shooting in Oakland, hoping that black people would be blamed for the violence, in an attempt to create racial tension.
So basically, Wendigoon was part of a libertarian group that eventually became more extreme and radical over time, and he no longer agreed with the goals, so he left it and he disavowed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair.
Isn't that what you want? For him to own up to his mistake?
Yeah, it's like, he owned up to his mistake, he left, he's not agreeing with them, because they become something that he didn't want them to become. That's why he left, I would assume. So, what? I don't get, what?
Mistakes and take accountability. You'd have a point if he was still involved in this group, or even if he was part of the group while the group was doing all these terrible things, but he wasn't. It's so funny he had to add this completely made-up factoid that the Boogaloos killed cops in order to blame it on black people.
I think this was his punchline at the end. He just planted this because if you watched his video so far, I feel like, and if you believed what he's saying, if you see this, you're like, oh my god, this guy's the Satan itself, and like, bro.
But I couldn't find that literally anywhere. In fact, I found the exact opposite. The Boogaloo Boys made sure people knew it was done by them. And it wasn't to spark a race war, it was to spark more anti-government sentiment. The Boogaloo Boys are a radical libertarian group. They hate cops. So I think this guy made up this thing about them wanting to blame black people, so people in his audience wouldn't think the Boogaloo Boys were cool. Yeah, they killed cops, but not in the based cool way we want to kill cops. This is probably the most damning evidence they have against Wendigoon, even though he's not involved in this group anymore, but they still f***ed it up. Zane was liking tweets from people, glazing him, telling him what an amazing job he was doing for finally going after Wendigoon, our glorious Reddit white knight, basking in the attention and glory of finally slaying the bad vibes dragon. All while Wendigoon left a nice comment on the guy's video, telling people not to be mean to this guy. Well, that sign won't stop me because I can't read. One comment I found on this guy's video was like, loving the Wendigoon fanboys trying to deny that he's conservative. He'll get away with it, because he's popular though. He'll get away with it. Get away with what? The crime of being popular online while not agreeing with you politically? Is that what this expose is about? Wendigoon exposed, not a communist. Nobody gives a sh**.
So what if he's a conservative? Is that a problem? Which the answer to that is yes. But the reason that I care is because this does not belong in horror, or anywhere. I care deeply about horror, and everything that he does has demonstrated so far in his career that he should not be welcomed in our spaces, or even, just in public in general.
What? Okay. First of all, I assure you nobody wants to be in your space, bro. Imagine the smell. But second of all, in public? Wendigoon should not be allowed in public spaces. Wendigoon should not be allowed to exist in society because he is Twitter friends with people this guy disagrees with on Twitter.
Should not be accepted within society at all. They should not be celebrated. They should be treated for what they are. Because remember, kids,
They are treated what they are. They are treated as a YouTuber, and he treats his, like, if the guy is a political, he doesn't do politics at all on his YouTube videos. He just does what he does, and people like what he does. This guy does not have any credibility. How can you be so bad at this?
when somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Well, you've told us you're a lying, manipulative hack, and I believe,
believe you.
But Wendigoon's actions, words, and even comments he left on your video tell us he's a good person. You're so lost in the sauce, you don't even realize all you did to the average viewer was make this guy seem like a kind person who learns and grows from his mistakes.
Yep.
These flimsy accusations and guilt by associations may work for the NPCs in your audience who already hated Wendigoon based on vibes, but you need to bring more to the table than unsourced Reddit comments. If you're trying to convince the average person who isn't terminally online that this guy deserves to be ostracized from society. The fact is, most people have friends they don't politically agree with. Most people make edgy jokes. Many people are into guns. Many support the police. And most enjoy when pedophiles die. These things you listed as like crimes Wendigoon's friends have done in order to smear Wendigoon do not make them fascists or Nazis. They make them normal people. At the end of the day, this was just a witch hunt against a normal guy. But to these people, that is the enemy. The normal guy. They can dress it up however they want, but at the end of the day, that's what this video was. An attack on normal guys. And it's always been a war on normal guys. But hey, I'm glad you deleted the video. Hopefully you learned from this, but according to your Discord messages, you haven't. Anyway.
What was that?
Hopefully you learned from this, but according to your Discord.
Oh yeah, nobody in the video was actually refuted any of what I said. Lord, any point on this things are wrong, but don't actually go so far. Here's what I said was not right. Is this guy
Discord messages.
okay? Like, mentally? I think he needs to seek help. Like, ASAP. This guy has serious problems in the head.
You haven't. Anyway, that was that video. I just really wanted to stick up for someone who absolutely did not deserve all the hate.
Okay. Honestly speaking, I feel like I'm going to cut out a bunch of stuff from this video. And the reason why, if you are watching this, I cut out a bunch of stuff. Because it was just the same bullshit. He comes up with like Twitter friends that did nothing really. And it's like guilty by association, literally. The wall rolled around and he does not show any significant evidence, any like really damning thing, nothing. He does not show anything. And I think he knows that because he deleted the video. So it's fair to say that this guy does not do any research. He makes ages long videos without actually doing research, which is, I think, tells a lot about the current state of that type of YouTube content. Like this no research bullshit that is going on sometimes, it's just disgusting. When people are doing stuff that they don't know literally jack shit about, as it's just no, it's ridiculous. Honestly speaking, it's ridiculous. And I see so much stuff like that on YouTube. I see so much stuff like that on YouTube. When people are just doing research on Twitter, on drama Reddits, literally drama Reddits. I mean, Reddit can be a good source of information if you go to the right Reddits. Like, for example, what I mentioned earlier, like the Ask History on Reddit, they literally source, like, cite sources. Like, literal books that you can read the stuff they are saying. In the original language or in translated language, they always cite their sources. And it's a really clean place for finding historical information. So I recommend it very much. But overall, getting information on drama Reddits and Twitter and just literally just headlines basically and old ass Discord logs, you have to do a better job than that. That is disgusting. Like, if you create content like this and you don't do the bare minimum and you just talk out of your ass, like, what's the point? Like, what's the point of me being here talking about this without me knowing about this stuff on YouTube? Like, without me watching hours and hours of this shit? Like, bro, what? Without, like, doing your own research and showing this to your audience that you don't do any research, and they just believe it because they don't do any research either, because they see that from you. it is really problematic, and I hate it so much, really. Oh my god. Okay, tell me what you think about this in the comments. Leave a like, leave a dislike, whichever you want, and subscribe for more. Peace out. Bye bye. Holy fuck.